A man had just undergone eye surgery and was left alone in a shady clinic. Worried he might starve, the doctor put some food in the fridge and then handed him 2 ropes, one leading to the bathroom, the other to the kitchen. Before leaving, the doctor specifically emphasized that he could only remove the bandages after 12 hours or else he would go blind. Unable to see, Qiang could only lie down and sleep. When he woke up, 8 hours had already passed. He felt starving, so he opened the fridge to grab something to eat, but accidentally picked up a spoiled sandwich from the top shelf. The moment he took a bite, it nearly cost him half his life. He hurried to rinse his mouth with some milk, but grabbed the wrong thing again. If he had swallowed that, it could have killed him outright. He quickly drank some melted ice water, barely managing to spit out the germs in his mouth. But just as he was feeling weak and powerless, several SWAT officers suddenly descended from above, preparing to conduct a thorough search of the building. Their target was none other than Brother Qiang. Thermal imaging found 27 inside building. After syncing data to their handheld computers, the SWAT officers tossed 8 metal discs from their belts. When they hit the ground, they became 8 mechanical spiders that quickly crawled into every corner of the building. These spiders had infrared detection. They moved swiftly, could get into any nook and cranny, and could locate every living being inside and identify them by scanning their pupils. Hearing the noise, Qiang was so scared cold sweat poured down his face. But no matter how cautiously he tried to hide, there was nowhere to escape under thermal imaging. After ruling out others in the building, all the spiders gathered at Qiang's door. Fortunately, he had stuffed a towel in the gap under the door ahead of time, so the spiders couldn't get in for the moment. Knowing he couldn't hold out much longer, Qiang quickly grabbed the icebox, then followed the rope to the bathroom and dumped all the ice cubes into the bathtub. The next second, the spiders outside the door started looking for another way in. They went to the hallway, used their claws to lift up a floorboard, and in less than half a minute, they had crawled into Qiang's room and began to spread out, searching for their target. Just a second before being found, Qiang climbed into the bathtub and submerged himself completely in the ice water. At that moment, the SWAT team monitoring the thermal imaging noticed that a living being had suddenly disappeared, which immediately aroused their suspicion. They decided to go check it out in person right away. Meanwhile, Qiang was locked in a battle of wits with the spiders. He clenched his fists and held his breath, trying to avoid being detected by the spiders. After scanning the area and finding no heat source, the mechanical spider crawled out through the crack under the door. But just then, a small bubble escaped from Qiang's nose and floated to the surface, popping with a barely audible sound. Yet even this tiny noise was immediately picked up by the spiders. In an instant, all 8 spiders swarmed over, crawling onto the bathtub. When they discovered someone hiding underwater, one of them skimmed the surface and zapped Qiang, causing him to jolt out of the water. Then all the spiders attacked together, relentlessly electrocuting him. Qiang just couldn't take it anymore, so he lifted the gauze and let the spiders check his pupils. Though it hadn't been 12 hours yet, he had to open his eyes and endure the painful scan from the bright light. At that moment, a SWAT officer was already outside his door, ready to break in. Luckily, he had switched out his eyeballs in advance. 2 seconds later, just like that, Qiang narrowly escaped disaster.